Right here as we come on the air with the WHAS11 night team, we want to tell you about breaking news just into the newsroom. A woman is dead after being shot in the Chickasaw neighborhood. It happened just around 9 tonight at 41st and Broadway. Metro police officers finding a woman who was shot there. She was taken to Louisville's University Hospital where she later died. We are told there are no known suspects tonight. Anyone with information who can help detectives, the anonymous tip line is 574 LMPD. And hello everyone, now at 11, we have a lot to bring you about the shooting earlier today near a school bus stop. I'm Doug Proffitt. Right now tonight, we have new interviews for you and more information about the deadly shooting of a mother walking with a little girl today, a young student, toward that bus stop. New JCPS Superintendent Brian Yearwood says it's not just a single tragedy, but something bigger. He's calling it a community crisis for Louisville right now. Well, the buses rolled again late this afternoon to 10th and Chestnut, dropping kids off with a huge police presence and employees of city government there to greet them. A few hours earlier at a news conference, one resident showed up asking the police chief questions, interrupting him. It was a tense give and take. WHS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Emma Gefter have more of our coverage.
It's depressing that we got to keep losing people to gun violence.
2 shootings in 1 week near the same West Louisville bus stop, 10th and Chestnut.
3 shots fired at the bus stop, 1 person on the ground.
Female shot in the chest, back, in front of the library.
But this one is deadly. A mother shot and killed while walking with a little girl, a student, to the bus stop.
I can't even imagine how her daughter feels right now. She watched her mother get gunned down while she's screaming from a bus window.
Here are pictures released by LMPD of the suspect, video taken from a school bus camera. This morning, though, was the first time officers hadn't been at the bus stop since the shooting last Wednesday.
The officers made a decision today. Clearly, I wish they had been there. They made the decision based on the fact that conflict last week, we had already had one of the people involved. We thought that conflict was over with. And
then at a news conference with the mayor and JCPS superintendent, Juanisha Saunders interrupts the chief.
I'm trying to figure out what are you going to do as LMPD to come and really come in the community and not just come to police us, but to come and protect us, is what I'm saying.
You have a very valid point. There is a gap. There is a gap of communication both on the enforcement side and the pre-enforcement side. Okay. There's clearly a gap that we need to fill, and we need more ways to do that.
She lives in the area and continued to question other Metro officials, including council member for the district, Ken Herndon. That didn't stop when she returned to the bus stop for afternoon dismissal.
We're tired. We're tired of hearing talk. We're tired of hearing the same things over and over again. Where's the action gonna come from?
These balloons, this memorial here, I'm told, was set up for the woman who was killed right here at this bus stop Wednesday morning. And the community is urging that there's more police presence here so that more memorials like these don't have to be put out. Kids got off the bus at the same area where the attack happened. Metro Police there in force.
Yeah, have a good day, good people. Bye. Have a good day. Love, man, love.
Members with the city's Office of Violence Prevention show up to be a comforting presence for parents and students at a bus stop that now holds a lot of bad memories. At 10th and Chestnut, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
Now, the mayor at the news conference there today said over 40,000 school bus stops exist from morning to afternoon in Louisville, and certainly impossible to be policing all of them. By the way, Bishop Dennis Lyons told us tonight that he and others will be leading a prayer with parents and students back at that bus stop tomorrow morning. Metro Police are also expected to be back out again in big numbers around the bus stops. And updating our breaking news about the first shooting near this very same bus stop on the first day of school last week. Police say they've now arrested a second teenager in this case in connection with the shots fired last week. This happened in front of dozens of students on August 7th near 10th and Chestnut Streets. Nobody was hurt. On August 9th, they arrested a 15-year-old in the shooting. This afternoon, police arrested a second 15-year-old. A woman who lives in the area told us today she was an eyewitness to the teenager firing shots toward the bus stop on August 7th.
There's another shooting, and it's not good. I was coming back from taking my son to school, and I seen a person who had a gun right out in midday while there were students around the buses. Everything is going as normal.
Again, talking about August 7th there, the second person arrested is charged with 33 counts of wanton endangerment and possession of a handgun by a minor, second offense. Police say tips from you really helped this out in this case, and they are urging you to continue calling them for helpful information. The anonymous tip line is 574 LMPD. And new tonight on the night team, ever since WHAS 11 News at 6 o'clock tonight, we've been getting a huge amount of phone calls from you, outraged over this incredible violence. You love this community and, of course, our kids. Here's 2 calls that came into the rant line tonight from Ethel and Jane, both in Louisville tonight.
Hello, I'm Jane. I'd just like to know what is wrong with our city. We've having so many people getting shot, and now they taking aim at the kids trying to go to school. These kids deserve a better chance, and nobody is to blame, but everybody wants to pass the buck to somebody else. Parents need to take control of their kids.
That has nothing to do but think a real gun is a toy and don't care about taking a life. Yes, I'm talking about the teenagers that have just recently committed a murder as recent as today. Find the person that killed this mother this morning and lock him up along with his parents too. What a travesty.
I invite you to stay in touch with me here at WHAS 11 News. Always, you can call or write the rant line on this story. The email address is therant@WHAS11.com or call 502-582-RANT. That is 582-7268. It has been a violent 2 weeks for our city. Last week, a 15-year-old firing the shots at a bus stop on the first day of school, and a second arrest, as we've told you, has now been made. And then, last Friday, a man abducts a mother and her 2 children in Linden, stabbing the mother and robbing a bank. Armand Langford's bond is set at $1 million. Today, another person firing shots and killing a woman walking with a little girl right near the same bus stop. New tonight, Republican Metro Council member Anthony Piagentini and other GOP members of the Metro Council posting a statement today in regard to last week's kidnapping and bank robbery, saying in part, the decision to offer shock probation to this convicted violent offender was a terrible mistake. This wasn't the first time this has occurred, but it can be the last. He says Republican council members will work to create policy initiatives for Louisville's court system. We want to take a moment here on the night team to check on our latest weather, as we had some rain and some thunder around the community tonight. Mallory, had a few people tell me they were hearing it in some parts of Louisville. What's the latest on those storms?
Hey there, Doug. Yes, we did have some isolated to scattered activity on the radar this evening. Not as intense as last night. And you can see here on the satellite and radar already a lot quieter compared to this time 24 hours ago. Just a few lingering showers or storms that are drifting toward the I-75 corridor. Looks like a spotty shower down near Hart County, but most of us, we are dry at this moment. 12-hour estimated rainfall shows how today's coverage of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening certainly spottier, not nearly as widespread or heavy as what we saw yesterday. Now, in terms of today's almanac in Louisville, we did start off at 73 this morning, topped out at 89, which is right at our climate normal high for this time of year. Of course, it felt a little bit hotter than that once you factor in the humidity. It felt like the mid-90s with that heat index. Tonight, we are expecting partly cloudy skies, maybe some patchy fog possible by morning. Temperatures drop into the 70s with light winds. And then as we head throughout the day tomorrow, we are expecting partly cloudy skies, going to stay warm, going to stay muggy. Just a spotty shower or storm possible during the afternoon and evening hours, but coverage definitely looking lower than the last couple of days. Expect high temperatures across Kentuckiana in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Of course, feeling a little bit hotter than that. But as we head toward the end of the week and into the weekend, we are trending drier and we are trending hotter as well. I'll let you know when the mid-90s return. That's coming up in our 7-day forecast. Doug.
Mallory, thank you. Now to our other big story happening, all new since 6 o'clock tonight. Louisville Scenic Road. Drivers love it and bicyclists love it. But the city wants a new vision for 400 acres of public land that it owns along River Road. Several miles, we're talking of River Road, which includes 6 nearby parks. The mayor showed up for tonight's second community meeting about River Road held at Locust Grove. One thing's always been the same about River Road. It brings out passionate debate. WHAS 11 night team photojournalist Levi Hammer was there.
This is a visioning project to hear what the community would like to see out of our great corridor along River Road.
But we're really talking about the swath of River Road from the Big Four Bridge all the way over to Indian Hills.
I try to learn every day on this job, and I learned a big lesson when we had plans that were put out for public feedback regarding Joe Creason Park. And the lesson that we took from that is before we start making even the progress that we were making on that project, let's do more listening.
So this is an open-ended question. What would you like to see in this corridor? How can we improve these spaces?
Just a lot of misconceptions and a lot of fear. When the word development is used, there's always a preconceived idea of what that looks like.
The more important thing about these parks is maintaining and preserving and improving rather than some kind of dramatic reimagining of all these parks. So,
from my conversations, there seems to be a lot of consideration given to a lot of unsolicited ideas, and we're not dumb. We know that a lot of those ideas come from true developers. There's a vested interest, usually attached to a dollar sign.
My question is, after the feedback you all received from Joe Creason, why are we even here? The city of Louisville made it very clear we don't want our parks touched for your pickleball developments or whatever developments that you all want.
A stakeholder in a study like this is every one of us. Corporations and businesses, and from the biggest to the smallest, they're also stakeholders in our community. They have voices.
There are no plans. No decisions have been made. That's what tonight and this process is all about, is to listen.
I want to believe in our local government. The city has an opportunity to show its faithfulness to a process as well, while we show faithfulness to their process and have a mutual benefit.
The discussion on River Road tonight, a lot more meetings to come. They're always a passionate debate. More now on the story we told you about as breaking news last night here on the night team. The body of a missing 10-year-old boy has been found in the woods after a week-long search in eastern Kentucky. His mother's now being charged in the death. The search for Jaden Spicer was focused in Breathitt County, about 2.5 hours southeast of Louisville. Authorities found Jaden's body not far from home in a wooded area about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. His mother, Felicia Gross, is now charged with manslaughter, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and false reporting. In a post to social media today, the Breathitt Funeral Home and Monument company there said, quote, Jaden was a bright and energetic student at Highland Turner Elementary School in Breathitt County, preparing to enter the 4th grade. He loved life with a joyful spirit that touched everyone around him. Jaden's funeral date and time will be posted as soon as possible. GE is making its biggest investment into Louisville ever since they opened Appliance Park in 1951. GE Appliances is the latest major company to invest in Kentucky manufacturing, following Apple and Ford over the last few days. Excuse me. GE announcing today it's sinking $3 billion into factories across the South, including Appliance Park in Louisville. It means 800 new jobs for Louisville. GE Appliance President and CEO Kevin Nolan insists that bringing more production back to the states was the plan for a while, not necessarily a direct result of President Donald Trump's tariffs. But Republican Kentucky House Speaker David Osborne of Prospect sees a connection.
You know, if you look, a lot of this is a long-term strategy. I mean, we've been working for years trying to bring manufacturing back.
I think that you have to assume that the dramatic announcements that have been made over the last several weeks around the country, but particularly here in Kentucky, are a result of those policies.
GE doing something else historic for the times, shifting production back to America of its refrigerators, gas ranges, and water heaters. They're going to be moving them out of China and Mexico, again back to the USA.